What's up, guys? Welcome back to Vinny Disc Golf. I know it's been a long time since I've been on here, but some exciting news. I am now on Team Innova, and my entire bag has changed. Previously, my old bag only had one Innova disc, so it's been fun just switching up everything. Thanks to all my friends for all the discs you guys have given me. And yeah, let's give you a sneak peek into the bag. Junior World starts in 3 weeks, and I've been throwing this for about a month now, and it's been going really well. So let's get right into it. Starting off with some throwing putters. I've never really been much of a throwing putter guy because the wobble on my backhand tends to turn over the shots. So I only have two in the bag, one flippy and one overstable. Starting with the flippy guy, it's a Star Invader. I drew Fred Flintstone on it. This one for me, I can just kind of pop it on a hyzer and it'll go straight and turn a little bit over to the right. So like I said, don't throw these a ton, but that's my first throwing putter. And for the more stable option, whenever it comes to windy shots, I throw this AVR X3. It's been pretty solid for me. I've actually thrown this one in tournament a few times, and yeah, just throw it on a hyzer. It'll not flip over, but flip a little bit and then just fade at the end. So, been a workhorse for me. All right, moving on to our approach discs. I have three in the bag, all the same mold of Toros. These two are both first runs with the Joe Doral stamp on them. It's a Roblox face, but anyways, these two feel very good on a forehand. This is the slightly more stable guy. Throw this one on forehand hyzers, forehand flexes, and backhand hyzers. But yeah, this is probably my most used one at the moment. Moving to this one, got this 2 weeks ago at Mid-America Open. Played again, found it in the used bin. This is a gem, and it will hold the flex on the forehand a little bit more than that one, and yeah, just a very nice straight flyer if you give it a little flex. Finally, the third Toro, this is a Champion Toro. It doesn't quite go as far, and it's a little more stable than the other two, so don't throw this one a whole ton, but still looking for a more overstable mid, but we'll get into that when we get to the mids. So, moving on to the mid-ranges, I currently only have three in the bag, and I feel pretty confident about all three of them, really. Starting with the Solstice, this was the only disc I had in my bag that was made by Innova before I switched, so this one feels super comfortable in the hand. Yeah, recently got an ace with it. It was a total shank right, and it hit a tree and went in, so this guy's my hyzer flip to over. Pretty straight flyer. Alright, next up is the Champion Rock 3. I believe it's an iodine, maybe not, but this one is a little bit more overstable than my Solstice. I can pop it on a little bit of hyzer and it'll just go dead straight, and if there's a little bit of a tailwind, it will fade back at the end. But yeah, probably my favorite and most used mid-range I have. Finally, the third orange mid-range is a Gator. This disc has not been thrown much, but I can just kind of give it a little ante and I'll trust that it'll come back at the end. But I'm still, like I said, looking for a overstable mid-range that I can throw on a forehand that holds up with my torque, because I throw a lot of torque. So this does not hold up on a forehand, and it's really only used for backhand flex shots. So. All right, moving on to my favorite slot, the Fairways. I have a ton of these, so let's get them all out of here. All right, starting with our 7 speeds, 3 in the bag right now. This is Innova made old Discmania. It's an FD 76 -11. With the numbers, this thing just glides forever, and it is dead straight. I'm still trying to get it beat in a little bit to where it's a little less overstable, so it'll just drift a little more right. Right now, it kind of has a little bit of finish to it, but still working to beat this one in. Moving to the next is this new Calvin Heimberg Tour Series Eagle in the sweet new Duo plastic. This thing is board flat and honestly feels really good on a forehand. I've never really forehanded 7 speeds, but this guy, money. This one, in terms of stability, kind of hit it on a hyzer, it will pop up, but still fade at the end. So, really consistent disc here. And finally, the Nirvana T-Bird. This thing is slightly more stable than my Eagle, and kind of throw it on a flex shot, it will go, hold the turn, but then fade back at the end. All right, moving on to our 9 speeds, our faster fairways. Starting off, we have this Ken Climo, 12-time world champion Firebird. This thing is a mainly forehand disc for me, but I also throw it on some hyzers on backhand. But yeah, just give it a little flex. It will hold the turn, and then it'll fight back. And yeah, great disc for flex forehands, which is one of my favorite shots. So next we have another Firebird. This is the Nate Sexton Firebird. I'm not sure from what year, but this one's board flat. Oh, look at that. This one is pretty flat and a little less stable than the Climo one. So it'll hold more turn, flip a little more on a hyzer, and yeah, mainly use this for backhand and some touchier forehand shots. All right, next up we have Millennium Draco, also a 9-speed forehand disc. It is my most stable one of the three, and I can just punch this thing on a lot of anhyzer on forehands, and it'll fight back. Or if I'm throwing a steep spike hyzer backhand, I go to this Draco. So. And final two Fairways. These are my faster ones. Well, Valkyrie's still a 9-speed, but the Valkyrie I can throw on a hyzer backhand, and a couple times I've thrown it on forehands and it flips up really nicely actually, but it takes a very touchy shot for that. But yeah, backhand, throw it on some hyzer, have it flip, hold the turn, maybe a little fade at the end. So definitely a disc I like. And last fairway driver, we have a Barry Schultz Beast. This thing is one of the more recent additions to my bag, but I'm loving it. It is a super understable 10-speed, going on hyzer, and it'll flip all the way over and hold the turn. Will not come back, kind of like the Valkyrie, but less stable. So yeah, on to distance drivers now. 6 drivers in the bag. 4 destroyers and 2 bosses. So we'll start with the bosses first. Another disc Zeke gave me. Shout out Zeke. This thing is my go-to, just overstable driver. I can throw it on hyzer, it'll push and just go left. I can throw it on anhyzer, it'll hold the turn and then fade back. This is probably my most go-to disc in the driver slot and used for a ton of forehands as well. So, Champion Boss, Dave Feldberg 2008 money disc. Moving to our other boss, this thing has a sweet die on it and is my just beefcake. Throw it on a hyzer, trust it in the wind, it will fade. Throw it on backhands and forehands. So, this is a Halo boss, and yeah, just my big overstable beefy guy. And probably my favorite molds here, the Destroyer, of course. Everybody loves the Destroyer. I currently have 4 in the bag, and starting with this guy. This is a Pro Destroyer, and whenever my buddy gave it to me, he said it would be a roller disc, but for me, I just throw it on a ton of hyzer, and it pops up, holds the turn, and never even thinks about coming out of it. So really nice for those like distance shots that turn over, and yeah, this has been a staple in the bag since I got it. Next in stability is this Champion I-Die Destroyer with the Missouri High School State Championship on it. Took that tournament down and just threw this thing in the bag yesterday actually, because I lost my old flippy Destroyer that I could throw on a little bit of hyzer and flip over, and this guy, still trying to figure it out, but for now this is my hyzer flip to just straight shot disc. All right, moving to our next Destroyer. This is the 2025 Destroyer that Calvin had, and I actually had 2 of these, a stable one and an understable one, and I gave my stable one to my buddy to get worked in, and this is it. I got it back from him. Thanks, Seth. And for as far as flight, this thing, I can just give it a hyzer, it'll pop up and go pretty straight, but then fade back at the end. So definitely use this on a ton of shots. And last but not least, the 2022 Heimberg Destroyer. This thing has an insane dome on it. It almost sounds like a heartbeat when you give it the push, but really only throw this on shots where I need max distance, like par 4s, where just trying to get to a landing zone. I don't really trust it on par 3s because I just throw my bosses to get the similar flight, but this thing just goes a little bit farther. So that'll do it for all the discs. Most importantly though, the putters. These are the McPro AVRs, 4-time Paul McBeth Tour Series. I think they came out in like 2017 or 2018. I'm not for sure on that, but these things have given me so many strokes on the course and feel amazing. I mean, I couldn't think of a better putter at the moment, and yeah, that's the bag right now. Junior Worlds in 3 weeks, so let's go. Thanks for watching.